Sacred Journey. Every week, we bring a new perspective to aging and caregiving. Here is your host, Micheal Pope.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in the virtual neighborhood of Life is a Sacred Journey. It's a foggy day here in California, in Berkeley, and it's good to be with you this morning. I am Micheal Pope. I am the host of Life is a Sacred Journey. We started, every time I contemplate this at the end of the year and ponder, we've been doing Life is a Sacred Journey in this format since the pandemic. And then prior to that, we were on Blog Talk Radio. And so our primary objective was to provide information and knowledge, wisdom, experiences for those living with Alzheimer's and other forms of dementia and their caregivers. I'm slouching already, so I gotta get myself together here. Hold on. And their caregivers, so that the journey wouldn't be so or feel so lonely. And so then as we've evolved through the pandemic, we've made new friends with people like Dr. Robert Pearl, who I just read another article of his where he is really talking about healthcare and the challenges that ageism and racism and all of that have. So people like that, people like Audrey White, who talks about grief and is now, facilitating the Grief Academy here in the Bay Area. She and I met last week in person to talk about some strategies, not only for Life is a Sacred Journey, but for ASAB and other places where I have a leadership role. So it's just amazing to be able to meet the people who come to Life is a Sacred Journey and to really have our lives intersect in a way that is just so beautiful and so I feel so fortunate that I've had an opportunity to be guided in this role. And then there's Felicia behind the scenes that really helps to bring the guest on and get them the information that they need. And so I'm looking forward to 2024. Next week, we will have a guest. So we won't be having like we usually end the year with a rerun, but we're not going to do that this time. We have a guest that is able to come and be with us next Friday, I believe. And so, but this is the last pondering of the year of 2023. So last week we talked about 23 great things that happen or things that we're moving into a positive mode in 2023 and looking forward to 2024. But I would be remiss since the title this morning is The Gift of Life, the gifts plural of life. I don't know if you're up yet, Jade, but today is Jade's 25th birthday. It is amazing. It is amazing for all of you that are out there that are parents, either birth parents or parents of mentors of people who you have mentored from, them being little people and watching them grow into adulthood. But I have to tell you, as a mother and a parent, I am blessed beyond measure to know and be hopefully a guiding light for this young woman. She turns 25 today and has a big day planned for her 25th birthday. I won't disclose it because I didn't ask permission. And but I just want you to share with me just a congratulatory birthday for Jade. She, at 25 years of life, has accomplished so many things. And she works with the California Coalition for Youth, helps to advocate for young adults and youth across the state of California. She's been to Boston, where she has spoken. She's been to DC. I am so proud of her. She walked with me and suffered with me when I was battling cancer. She came to my side when I was sobbing over the phone when Alpha was passing away in the house in front of me. She decorated my house for Christmas, our house. It will always be our house, but for Christmas, and surprised me because I was exhausted, and I was telling her I'm exhausted and I don't think I'm just even going to put the tree up. But she showed out and the house was decorated when I got home. So Jade, you are one of the most incredible miracles of my existence. And so I want to thank you for making me a better woman. I want to thank you for making me a better human being. And I want to wish you the bestest, most fabulous 25th birthday ever, because it is the only one you'll ever have. So enjoy it. So join me in wishing my daughter, one of the lights of my life, because I have a few, but one of the lights and one of the wisdoms of my life, a happy and glorious birthday. Mwah! Jade, your mama loves you, and I could go on for the next half hour talking about you because I love you so much. So happy birthday, my baby. Happy birthday, my ladybug. Happy birthday. Have a great day, and I'll holler at you later. Mwah. Okay, so join me in wishing that wonderful woman. Those of you that know her know that I'm not making stuff up, that she really is quite the young woman. All right, so last week I was talking about some of the books that I'm taking into 2024 to read. And I want to talk about that before I kind of go into the gifts of life and what I consider the gifts of my life. I've already shared one with you. But this book here, The 3 Practices for Crossing the Difference Divide by Jim Henderson and Jim Hancock. It was just introduced to me recently when I was in Lake Wanyanaska somewhere. I don't even know where I was, but anyway, it was a trip where I was going to learn about respite programs within the United Methodist Church and outside of the United Methodist Church, and collaborations between faith-based communities and respite care. But this was a practice that we did, and I've read the book, and I'm now, they only write about 3, but there's, I believe, 7 of them altogether. But this was a great exercise for crossing the difference divide, and really how to check in and how to pay attention to the people you can't afford to lose. So 3 practices for crossing the difference divide. That's one book. And the other, I forgot to bring, but I am beginning to read, I have to be honest, I was really surprised. I have this book and it's been sitting at my house, I think, for a minute. It is the second Michelle Obama book. I realize I still have a bookmark in it. So I am going to go back, and I think it's Becoming, or I can't remember because there's 2 of them. But whatever the book is, I didn't finish it. I think life happened. There's a lot of things that went on in 2023, and I put it down and didn't pick it back up. But I want to share with you that I will be reading that because I just think she also is an amazing shero. The other thing I want to share with you before we go into just fun time for our last pondering, one of the guiding lights of my life was and is the opportunity to be a part of the Do What Matters Most, Becoming Your Best global leadership group. They are a great resource, and I have become close with Steve Schallenberger, who just is an amazing individual, smart, intelligent, and just, oh my gosh, I can't tell you how much he means to me. And I took the course, Do What Matters Most, and his son Rob, and he wrote the book together. And Rob, in the beginning of every year, I get my calendar. So I got my 2024 calendar. And in the beginning, it talks about vision and goals. Doing what matters most to you and being the best you can be is constantly sitting down and analyzing not only your personal vision and goals and the values that you bring to those. I'm sorry, I'm kind of allergy this morning. And what you bring to those, and that's just really important. But one of the things that the Do What Matters Most group and learning teaches is to really sit down. And so over the next week, I will be doing that, sitting down and writing my plan for the year. And they're not things that I wish for, or these are actionable items that I'm going to be engaging in to, because it's my personal vision. It's something these are, and you start by looking at, and you remember this, he taught us this. You look at your roles and your goals. So I have so many roles in my life. So I'll be writing them all down, figuring out what each of my goals are for those roles, and then using them to write my personal vision, my personal statement for 2024. And then over the year, the way this calendar is set up, you can see at the top, I have action items that I will be putting in here so that they correspond with what's happening in that month or in that week, actually, because this is a week by week. So I'm not telling you that you need to invest in Do What Matters Most. I think you should at least buy the book. It is an incredible book and it's not expensive. And even if you just take one little grain of wisdom from it, it will better your life. I know a lot of people don't like to learn what do I self-help kind of things. They're like, oh no, I don't want to be engaged in that. I'm here to tell you, I think I did this now, wow, a while ago, like 4 years ago. I don't know, Steve, you can correct me. But he came on Life is a Sacred Journey. And after that, we became buds. And then I took the online course and then I read of course, read the book. And then I implemented some of the practices here. So I'm here to tell you it works. I have accomplished more since doing what matters most, but because I have an annual personal vision and goals that just aren't wrapped up in other people's goals for me. So, I just pass that on as something that you might want to do in 2024. Read the book at least and see if there's any good tidbits in there that you can take into your journey. But becoming your best self takes a lot of work. It's not just thinking that that's where you're going to be and how you're going to be. You got to go into it. And I love, this is something that my dad used to say to me at the beginning of the book. It says, good, better, best. Never let it rest until the good is better and the better is best. Do you remember that? You remember that? Good, better, best. Never let it rest until the good is better and the better is best. So that's just something I wanted to share with you because we might not have time next week because of our guests being on. For a long time, for a very long time, I was living out the dreams and visions of other people. They weren't bad because they were dreaming incredible things for me and hoping incredible things for me out of love, out of all kinds of things. But it wasn't until I married my own personal dreams, my own personal vision for my life legacy, along with all that other stuff. I think that I became a better person and began to grow. It does not mean that I'm at the pinnacle of my growth, because that's certainly not true. I would have to be taking my last breath, and I think I'm still breathing at the moment. But it really is about trying to find that sweet spot where everything is in balance, everything feels, and you have the tools that you need when the plows of life come. When I'm working with the young people at the church, we talk about our wows and our pows. And a wow is something that it gives you exhilaration. It's a success. It's a miracle sighting. Whereas a pow is the thing that kind of like, bam, and you're just like, whoa, where did that come from? And the reality is, if your emotional intelligence is fed, it's just like your body. If you take really good care of your body, it does not mean that you will never get ill, but what it means is that your body will have the capability to fight those diseases, and you have a better chance. Your immune system has a better chance of fighting on your behalf. So get the data that you need and live your life based on how you want to live, and not so much on, yes, people will always have great advice. There's great advice everywhere. But at the end of the day, it is your life and you want to live it to the best of your ability. And in order to do that, you've got to feel like you know you. And that takes time. And that takes a lot of self-reflection. So I pray you will get on that journey and enjoy. Gifts of life. let's talk a minute about the gifts of life. And if you're joining us for the first time, you have fallen upon and into the virtual neighborhood of Life is a Sacred Journey, and we're glad that you have. And if you would hit that share button and let other people know that you're here, and then subscribe and follow, so that in 2024 we can bump up our listener viewership throughout the virtual neighborhood where Life is a Sacred Journey reaches. So sacred things and gifts of life, as I already said, my family. I think my family, both biological and chosen, are great gifts to me. I am really fortunate that I have multiple generations of cousins I have the honor and privilege of loving and living a life with, and that's kind of fun. I think I'm one of the oldest cousins. I think there's one other older than me, but I am in the older age of the cousins. I'm in contact and in relationship with all my cousins. That's really cool. And we love each other and we get together for family reunions. And so I think my cousins, so my family, my biological family, my aunties, stepsisters, and all of those individuals in my family through marriage or bloodline, they are a gift to me. Also, my chosen family. I've lived in California now for over 30, almost 40 years. And so there's a chosen family that I have on multiple levels. Many of them come from my church family, my church uh, affiliation, and then there are a lot that don't. They come from other aspects of my life, but they are chosen family. They are people that I love with all my heart, and they're family. They are chosen. They are people that I drop things for so that I can go and be at their side when they need me. They are people who love me and have loved me regardless of the times that I I'm not the best human being that I could be. They don't beat me up and bastardize me. They love me and then guide me back to to the center of who I am. And so all those things. So they're my chosen family, and you know who you are. So thank you so much for walking with me and being with me. And those individuals live all over the world. So that makes me feel like this universal citizen. I'm a world citizen. And I think I love that. Yeah. So that's really cool. The other gift of life that I have that is in my soul is I love animals. I am like a Dr. Doolittle kind of person. Every animal, every creature. I have a great deal of love and affection for. I have a friend over where in the neighborhood where I live, and he has a miniature pony, and I get to see her every once in a while, and just the love that she and I share. He also has dogs, and so that's how we met. Alpha brought us together many, many, many years ago, and he had two dogs that have since passed away, and so we both share the loss of losing our four-legged loved one. But I think animals are a gift. They bring such love. They bring such oh man, centeredness. I just love that. I think the ocean is a gift of life. For me, the ocean. Many of you know I get in my car in my my sweats and I go to the beach and experience sunrises. Daisy and I experience sunrises on the beach, and when there's nobody else there, and then we get back in the car and go home. And it's just because I need it. I love the spray of the ocean on my face, the enzymes of the salt water that make me feel connected to something bigger and than I. The sound, the whooshing sound of the ocean. I love that. I think that's amazing. I think sunrises are a gift. Sunrises are amazing, amazing, amazing. As you know, on Facebook, when I was in Belgium, that was the first thing that I did is I took pictures of sunrises. Thank you, Tiara. for sunrises and sunsets. They are amazing to me. I think stars are a gift of life when you can actually see them. And I'm really fortunate that I live in an area that gets pretty dark at night, so I get to see them. I don't live in a overlit community, and so it's just really great to be able to see the stars. And then when I want to go, I go to uh, the planetarium just to make sure that I can see them even more. So those are some of the gifts of life. Another gift of life is meeting new people and not being a stranger when you go somewhere, looking at people as a part of a bigger community and reaching out to them. A gift of life is to help other people in need. You know, when I can do something for a stranger who will never know me and never be able to tell me thank you, I get really hyped up about that. That just makes me feel so good. Recently, my son and daughter-in-law and granddaughter donated all this stuff to me to give away at the recent stuff where we pick a family at the church and we give them what they say they need for Christmas. And I was so excited. I mean, it's just like finding the bag for the items, getting them all together and putting them together. Jade helped me wrap and it was just, I was so filled with joy when I dropped those items off and left them at the church, never to see that family, never to know the joy on their face, but to feel it, to feel it. That's a gift of life. I also had purchased some sneakers that they look similar to the sneakers that I have that fit around my bunion and my corns and all that I love, that I need to get a new pair soon because I'm wearing them out. And I thought I had bought the same sneaker, but when it arrived, I was like, "Oop, nope, this is not it." And I didn't feel like going through the process of rewrapping them and blah, blah, blah. Christmas was coming and I knew I could give them away. So I gave these great sneakers away to somebody who I don't know. Again, wrap them, put the size on the outside. They happen to be the men's size sneaker because I couldn't find it in the woman's size. So I just, so do something like that. I really think that will be a gift to you when you just wrap something up or give something to someone instead of buying Christmas presents for Nora. One of the great organizations out there is the Heifer International. So I bought a goat. I bought a goat that it was being sent to a village in Africa in honor of Nora. So you go online, you can buy little chicks for $20 and and a whole little community can be uplifted by, two little baby chicks that become chickens that can lay eggs that not only the family can eat, but they can also sell them and create lucrative economy for themselves. The same thing with the goat. The goat is not to eat the meat of, it's the milk that the goat will produce that will feed the babies and the children high nutrient milk and that they can also sell. And so Nora already at only 6 months old is giving back to the world. I pray that that will be something that she will consider a gift of her life, that to give to others and to give to people who can't always say thank you to you, so that your ego doesn't get so filled with that moment, right? It's good. It feels good. I love people telling me thank you, but it's also very cool to do for someone who you will never hear their voice, but they'll benefit from your act of kindness. So those are gifts of life. I think nature is a gift to your life and to life. I think that love, the experience of love, to love and to be loved and to give love is an incredible experience. The sun is hitting my side of my face. Let me get it. Let me get it. There it is. It's like beaming on me. I think love is major. I think that it is one of those things that just inspires people and creates a vision of hope and joy and peace, love, forgiveness. Um, all those things are gifts of life. So I hope that during this holiday season and this new upcoming new year, that's going to be interesting because we have all kinds of things that we're going to have to face as a humanity together. But I'm hoping that we will think about the gifts of our lives and try to live them out to the best of our ability. Before I close today and send you on your way into the Christmas of 2023, never to be seen again, to be enjoyed for this moment, I thought I'd do a couple of ifs for you. So, because everybody loves these, and then Felicia can pull them out as little shots for Instagram. So here's one. If you were to choose a musical instrument that best describes your character, what would it be? If you were to choose a musical instrument that best describes your character, what would it be? For me, it would be the violin. It's an instrument that can soothe, but it can also create sounds that can create emotional get your energy going, and so and it just tells a story. The way that the chords and the sound of the violin. So if you were to choose a musical instrument that best describes your character, what would it be? And that's me. I'm kind of smooth and easy, and then I have moments, and then I can be smooth and easy and soothing, and then I can be so I'm a violin. If you were to choose a musical instrument that best describes your character, what would it be? All right, here's another one. If you could give your parents one gift, what would you give them? And I know for some of us, our parents, I know for me, I am an orphan. My parents have gone on to live their best life in glory. Uh, and again, that's my opinion. I'm not forcing it upon you. If you could give your parents one gift, what would you give? What would you give them? For me, it would be more time, more of my time. Like if I could go back and change things, I would have been a little bit more of a dutiful daughter where I spent more time with my parents. And that would, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart, that I'm not walking around with guilt and remorse. It's just that I let other things busy me, and I should have spent more time with them. Particularly after I moved to California, I should have made more time to go back east. It just was, but those are excuses. And again, I'm not living with any guilt around it. But I'm answering the question. If you could give your parents one gift, what would it be? Last one. If you had to choose the best telephone call you've ever had, which was it? If you had to choose the best telephone call you've ever had, which was it? Hmm. If you had to choose the best telephone call you ever had, which was it? Oh, I know. The love of my life called me for the first time after we got reacquainted in time. And that was one of the best calls, to hear that familiar voice, but not so familiar voice because we hadn't spoken to each other for a really long time. But to hear it and then to just laugh and rekindle a friendship that was lost in time. So that was the best call. So Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and we'll be talking about Kwanzaa. I will be doing little snippets about Kwanzaa, but happy Kwanzaa, celebrate Kwanzaa, even if you are not a Black, African, and Native American family, celebrate Kwanzaa in your family. The principles of Kwanzaa are amazing. Do your homework, figure it out, and we'll help you along the way. Once Kwanzaa season happens, we'll have quick Facebook moments about Kwanzaa. Go out into the world and don't get caught up, as I said last week or the week before or whatever, in the hubbub. Get caught up in the love. Get caught up in the spirit. Be hope, be peace, be joy, be love, be gratitude, be all those things for another human being. And then, don't forget yourself. Love yourself, because I have really learned it is impossible, impossible to love people the way they need to be loved in this day and age because of all the drama in the world when you don't love yourself. So you got to love yourself so you can share that wonderful feeling that you feel every day with someone else. So I want to say to you, Life is a Sacred Journey family, thank you so much for sharing your life journey with us, Felicia and I, and each other. And that I honestly, and from the bottom of my heart, love each and every one of you. Some of you I know better than others, but it doesn't matter. The love remains the same. So have a wonderful Christmas. Enjoy your Christmas with your family. Live in the wonder and awe of it. Live in the wonder and awe of it. We always end, and we would be remiss remiss to not do it today. This is a blue season for many, many people. I'm actually fighting a little depression myself for the last week or so, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, fighting. But if you're out there and you're fighting depression and anxiety during this holiday season, and you are feeling that suicide or taking your life is the next move that you want to make because the world would be better off without you and nobody cares that you would do it anyway, that's not true. The suicide hotline has people on the other end that can support you and help you, 988. And if you are a family out there, a youth, a young person that is emancipated or foster, you can dial 1-800-843-5200, and that is the Youth Crisis Hotline, 24/7 crisis counseling. It's anonymous, safe, confidential, and it will connect you, or not the number, but the individuals on the other line will connect you to resources and services. All right. Have a wonderful Christmas. Get out there into the world. Go watch a sunrise or a sunset. Be grateful. Hug everybody that you can. Wear your mask. COVID's on the rise. I know a lot of people with COVID right now. Hug yourself. Hug a tree. Pet a cat. Pet a dog. Pet your bird. I don't know. Whatever. But enjoy and pass on that wonderful feeling of Christmas, and take it into 2024 so that you can continue to pass it on. All right, you guys, the fire engine is going in the background. Have a wonderful Christmas. Peace.